Tracking characters using databases with Lauren Grace. I'm Lauren Grace, or Lori Parker if you happen to know me in real life. I write sweet contemporary and historical romance, and I'm best known for my dog who is insanely jealous of my laptop and occasionally even tries to type. First of all, what is a database? Databases and spreadsheets look very similar. They have the same grid layout for the most part. Spreadsheets are linear. They let you see what is on that particular sheet and compare within that single view. Databases are more circular. They will let you compare within the document, and so you only need to enter a item once, such as a book title. You should never enter the same piece of information twice. If you think of a database as a spreadsheet that's been bitten by a radioactive spider, you should be about right. There's lots of types of software out there. I'm not going to tell you which one you can or can't use. You may even own some that is on your computer already. I am using Airtable for this class and for the template that I have you download. The reason is, one, it's free. Two, it is web-based. It also has apps, so I can access my information off my phone, off of my computer, absolutely wherever I am writing. There is a paid version for larger databases or more robust databases. You don't need that, so if you have to sign up for Airtable, just sign up for the free version and know that the template that I have at laurengrace.com/database is designed to work on the free version. Have you ever lost characters or data? Perhaps you have used the same name for multiple characters in multiple books. My favorite is Margot for the secretary, and it doesn't matter what state she lives in, the secretary is always Margot. Or had to read an entire book to find out a secondary character's hair color because you've decided that they deserve a sequel. Or co-written and had tons of emails and stuff going back and forth with your co-writer about character descriptions. Databases can solve all of this, and they can also help you track everything from swaps and ads and social media. I'm only going to be showing you a character index, but know that databases can make everything else easier too. My character index is not a character Bible. I don't keep motivations in there. I do keep track of every single one of my characters that ever earned a name, even characters that never had a bit of dialogue. So I keep their physical descriptions and their birth and death dates, and their age, just relative to other characters, and then notes about them. I also track minor information about my 19 books. I have a more robust book database that tells me everything from the clean URL to where it's located on BookBub and Amazon ad categories. And I track marriages because I write romance. Things you might consider putting in your character index could include settings or world building or magic spells or languages, just pretty much anything you want to keep track of from book to book. The template that you're going to download is for Jane Austen's index, and we are going to pretend that one, she wrote series because she's now an independent author and series is where it's at, and she was computer savvy. Okay, after you click on the database to copy it, you're going to get a copy thing here. You're going to copy it, then you can change it to your own name or whatever. You may have to sign up for Airtable in that process if you don't have it already, and make sure you sign up for the free Airtable. A few things as we're looking at this, it looks a lot like a spreadsheet, but it's not going to work like a spreadsheet. All of these little icons, the A's, the dates, the numbers, and this FX are ways that the data is going to work in that column. The FX stands for formula. This particular formula is first name plus last name plus number. You are not going to type anything in a column where there's an FX. Hidden fields, you'll see this on most pages. In order to get formulas and linking things to work, there are hidden fields. Don't delete the hidden fields or they won't work. And then I have a sort by field. In this case, you can see the same peach color over here with the numbers. And we're going to move on to books. So I've put a few books in here. I've dropped a series name. To edit, just double click on it and we can take out a series name. We can change the color these are the colors available in the free. The colors in the free are very limited. This color button right here, if you use it and during your trial period, those colors will disappear if you stay with the free instead of the paid, just letting you know. So we've got a few books, put out some information on one, including a setting of Pemberley. This is our settings. And we just have one right now. Let's go in and add one. You'll notice there is no F there. This is an A, so I can write what I want to. So I'm going to write Rosings Park. And this is a drop-down arrow. So we're going to drop down and shows that it's made up. Owner. You may not have caught it, but Lady Catherine de Bourgh was on the first page we looked at. And this column with the little arrow shows that it links to another record. I do not need to type Lady Catherine ever again in this entire thing. I've made her up once. The same with book. Pride and Prejudice existed, so we're going to put that in as the book. I can write notes. This A with all the lines is for long text. We could be as long-winded as Mr. Collins about Rosings, or we can just write that Rosing has a lot of windows. This attachment column means that we can attach something. And there's all sorts of things you can attach and places you can attach from. To keep our database small, we're going to use a URL, and we'll go and find Rosings on the Jane Austen fandom site. We're not going to copy image, we're going to copy the image address. This will make for a shorter, smaller file. And so I'll just paste it in there and upload it. And I think that was 38K. We'll give it a second. And then if we click on it, we can see our entire file. You may want to add photos to your character basics. All you need to do is push on the do an add field and choose what of all these types of fields you want to use, or and then you can move the fields around just by dragging on them. So there you go. Book characters. This is where we're going to take our books from this column or this page and our characters from this page and put them together. And here's where we add book specific information. So if we want to add our male main character, Mr. Darcy, he's linked to another page because he's that light blue, and used a drop down. And like I said, you can edit if those roles don't work for you. I don't know how old he was. And we can write other information that maybe we write that he was in need of a wife since he had money or whatever. So, but this is going to be very specific to that book. As you can see on the marriage page, most of these items are the light blue underneath because they connect back to something else. Let's go add a character. It's 1812. We are pondering writing a book about Emma Woodhouse, and apparently we're feeling a little bit punny because we're going to name her knight in shining armor Knightley. Don't know what we're going to call his first name because we're brainstorming, so we're going to call him Mr. And we'll put in the few things we know about him. He's 17 years older, so we'll give him a date. And I'm going to give him a number. And I know the numbers may seem silly, but one of the things that happens in Emma, we have not one, but two Mr. Knightleys, because Mr. Knightley has a brother. So by putting in that number, we can keep our two Mr. Knightleys separate. Sometimes you will have characters that you deliberately want to have named the same thing as a Mr. Knightley and Mr. Knightley, or maybe you have a senior, a junior, and a third, or you just happen to name all your secretaries Margot, and so you have a bunch of Margos from your old books that you're putting in. These numbers will help keep them separated. They also help you know who came first in all your imaginary friends. I kind of thought the numbers wouldn't be useful, but I've used them several times, so it's your call. So we now have our brainstorm Mr. Knightleys. We don't know a whole lot about them at this point. That's okay. Let's go make a book. And yes, I know I misspelled that. There's a reason. And we're going to add Emma. We're going to start a new series. All the books that begin with E are now called ebooks. Okay, so it's going to create a new category for us. And that'll be the first one. I don't know when we're publishing it, but we have something there. We have more about this book here, Pride and Prejudice. We have a setting of Pemberley, but Pemberley didn't exist over here. But Rosings does, and if we want to add Rosings, I have to type it. I shouldn't ever have to type information twice. So let's do something so we don't have to type this twice. Instead of just using a single line of text, we're going to change this to a link to another record field. We're going to link it to settings, which is where Rosings is. Yes, I want to convert it. We're going to give it a name. We're going to choose the name field. And so now I can click on this field and I can add Rosings. You'll notice this field wasn't here before. It was created when I made this linked field, and it's going to have the same information in it. It's just not going to be clickable and editable. So we're going to go hide this field. That's another hidden field, not going to want to get rid of. And if I decide that maybe we use Covent Gardens there, and so these are now linked. Okay, if I double click on Pemberley, we're going to see Pemberley doesn't have any information because we haven't added that. But instead of going into settings, you can see this little white line says this is connected over to settings. We can do it right here. We don't have to go anywhere else. We can give it an owner. We can link it to a book. There we go. We can add notes, city, and even our photo from this page without hopping to the other page. When we do hop to the setting page, we'll see that Pemberley has shown up with all the information we just gave it. Okay, now for the last magical piece. This is the books. We can add more characters. So now we've added Jane Bennett, and she is definitely a supporting character. And put some book-specific information in this, because if Jane was to show up in a different book and we want to get Emma, and okay, so if for some reason, Jane goes and visits her long-lost cousin, Emma, so she becomes a mention in this book. This book was written about 10 years later, so now she's 33. She has different book-specific information. And we can add Emma Woodhouse because we know she's going to be in here. And she's going to be our main character. And she's 21. And we need to add our Mr. Knightley. And the first Mr. Knightley, number 8, was the one we intended for him, and that's all we have different right now. And he'll make him, and he is 37. And let's change Mr. Knightley's name. And we can add some information about him. Okay. And so now we can only fill out this information that has been put over here in the character basics already. So now we have more about George Knightley, and we have a second book here, and it shows our character count and things like that. And then for marriage, almost everything here is going to be just link. We link and we're done. We don't have to type anything. Oh, except we still have Emma misspelled. We'll fix Emma over here, and Emma is fixed everywhere. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to show you what a full list looks like. This is mine. I have almost 400 characters. And you'll see I have like Alexander's and Anna's. I do have some duplicates. This is why knowing that one was number 72 and one was number 239 is helpful, because I don't even have to really look through their descriptions to go, oh, I know which one has to be which one, because of just where it fits with the book. Want to look at Abby Hastings, number 106. We're going to hop over to my book characters. Here we have all of my books, and you can see how many people are in it. We're going to look at Mending Images, where Abby Hastings was a female main character. If I want to know how many times Abby Hastings was in a book, I can just make a couple of changes on how I am viewing my data. Right now, my data is grouped by the book field, which is what gives me this nice little side thing where all the books show up in groups. If I ungroup it, because I've sorted by the character field, I now can see that Abby Hastings is in 10 different books. And I can see which books she's in, I can see what roles she plays, and you'll notice her age changes because these books take place over a 3-year period. And I can see some very specific things that applied only to a specific book, such as she was using some pseudonyms in that. So I hope this helps you, and have fun. Thank you for watching Tracking Characters Using Databases. I hope it was helpful and will simplify your author life. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at lg@loringrace.com or reach out to me on Facebook. If you need the database, it's at loringrace.com/database.